Hey, what's up, everybody? Matt here with OddsJam, giving you some last-minute college football bets to lock in for college football week 9, Saturday, October 29th. So I'll get right into it, using OddsJam to find these positive expected value college football bets to lock in. Using OddsJam gives you the edge over the sportsbooks, when the reality is the sports betting landscape, sportsbooks have the edge over you by charging a vig, by charging a juice. So removing that vig, removing that juice gives you the true line of what a market should be priced at. And then you can use OddsJam to beat those odds. And in general, you will be profitable in the long run if you are able to do so. So for this video, locking in college football, the first one that I wanted to lock in here, a little bit risky, Texas A&M money line against Ole Miss. Now I know this one is a little bit scary considering the issues that Texas A&M has been having, but it's a pretty good line getting them at plus 120 at FanDuel. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, it was a good line. As you can tell, the odds changed, so that will not be my first betting pick. What will be my first one, assuming this one is still good, is the Western Kentucky first quarter spread minus 3.5. So let me go ahead and pull this one up. We're looking for Western Kentucky. And yes, they play North Texas. We're looking at the first quarter spread minus 3.5. This is at minus 102 odds. So we're going to go ahead and lock this in just for a half unit play here on this one. $50 on Western Kentucky first quarter spread minus 3.5. So let's chat about this one. Unfortunately, couldn't lock in A&M. But the no-vig odds that you see here, as I mentioned, this is what OddsJam calculates the true line of a betting market to be. And the way they calculate this is pretty cool. They back tested thousands of betting opportunities, used that data, collected all that data, and determined with which of the sportsbooks are the sharpest in terms of pricing odds, what sportsbooks do the best jobs. Then once they determined that using all this data, they removed the vig using a weight with a weighted average, giving obviously heavier weights towards the sharper sportsbooks. So these no-vig odds, they're not just from one book, they're from a list of the sharpest sports books in the world, the ones that do the best job at pricing odds, and remove the vig to give you the true line of what all those books think a market is. So these no-vig odds, you can pretty much use as the true line of what a market should be priced at, right? The fair odds. And anytime you can beat that is where you'll be profitable, which is exactly what we just did with this Western Kentucky bet. So the no-vig line is giving you like minus 104 on this one. You can get it on FanDuel at minus 102. The gap between those two numbers, that is where you get your positive expected value from. So I locked it in for about half of a unit. So let me add this one to my bet tracker. So a couple updates while I'm here that I want to mention to you guys. Number one, so when you're adding plays from the positive EV page, you can either save and hide the bet so it no longer appears on the EV page, or you can change the option here and just save it as well. That way, you like if you want to know what bets have been locked in, you want to see the check mark there, you can do that. Or if you already locked it in, you want it to go away, you can do that as well. And speaking of the bet tracker, something really cool that OddsJam recently just released, you can now sync your sportsbooks with the OddsJam bet tracker. So you see here, all my sportsbooks are linked. And the way you do it, you just go to sync sportsbooks, you choose the state, you choose the sportsbook, and then it links it to your account. So that way you don't have to manually add stuff to the bet tracker anymore for all of these books. It just does it automatically. And if you accidentally add something to the bet tracker and it also syncs it, you see this remove duplicate here. So you can pull up it pulls up, I should say, both of the bets. You just click, if it actually is a duplicate, you just click yes, and then it removes it and it doesn't show up on your bet tracker twice anymore, which is really cool. So tracking your bets is very important. It's also completely free. If you want to use the OddsJam bet tracker, it doesn't cost any money. Sync all of your sportsbooks for completely free. Right now, the sportsbooks that you saw on the dropdown are the only ones that are currently able to be synced. The provider we're working with doesn't have DraftKings or FanDuel yet. That is in the works, but still really cool. So for my first betting pick, half a unit, Western Kentucky minus 3.5 first quarter spread. The next play that I'm looking to lock in here is the total and the under in Charlotte versus Rice. This is minus 110 at BetMGM. And the odds also changed. It's now -110 at FanDuel as well. So if you view this in an event page, it pulls up where every sportsbook prices that individual play, 61.5. But what is also really, really cool is it pulls up where every sportsbook prices this market in general, not just this specific 61.5, but this total as a whole. And what you can see is every book except for BetMGM and FanDuel either favors this going over 61.5, or they price this total itself at a lower number. So we see Betfred, PointsBet, Caesars, DraftKings, WinBet, BetRivers, BetOnline, and that's important. BetOnline is a very sharp sportsbook. And then Pinnacle, all price this at 61. Actually, Pinnacle prices it at 59.5, so 2 full points lower, which is just insane. But this 61.5 is a pretty good value, right? Every single sportsbook thinks that the total should be priced below this number. That's how you can make money in the long run. Just taking the sportsbooks, using the sportsbooks to take advantage of one another and find one, using all of them that's just mispriced. So line shopping, being signed up, incredibly important. And then using all the data that you have at your disposal is a good way to be profitable. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in. Should be 3/4 unit play. BetMGM will only let me get $5.51, which is brutal. I have my account synced, my BetMGM account synced, so I don't need to manually add it because it already will be. But this is my second play, and the third one that I wanted to lock in, also on BetMGM, also a pretty good play. Colorado State versus Boise State under 42.5. So we're taking another under. So let me go ahead and add this one to my bet tracker as well. We're looking at the under 42.5. And let's chat about the math behind this one. So -105 is what BetMGM is offering. -106.5 is what the no-vig odds are. And if you open this one up in an event page, you can see that every sportsbook either prices it at 42 or 41.5. The only other book that has the main line of 42.5 is Fox Bet, but they have it roughly 50-50, where BetMGM actually is the only sportsbook that doesn't. They're the only one that favors the over. So that's a stale line. That's a line that we should take advantage of. Another 3/4 unit play, theoretically, that they will let me get $5 on. But for those of you at home, that it should be a 3/4 unit play. Colorado State versus Boise State under 42.5. And then the last one, also on BetMGM. Unfortunately, they still won't let me get the whole, everything I would like to put on this one. Yale -3.5 against Columbia. Nice Ivy League matchup there. So we're looking at Yale. We're looking at Yale -3.5. This one is just going to be half of a unit. Really, it doesn't matter because they're going to limit me to, they let me get a little more on this one, 11.02. Very nice of them. But Yale -3.5 is my last college football pick. No-vig odds have it at like -111.5, essentially. All the other books favor Yale except for BetMGM. Another great price. So that's it. 4 college football bets for you guys. Last minute bets to lock in before the slate starts. And that's it. So thanks for watching and have a good one.